Hey there neighbors, Kevin here with eTrailer, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the CURT Multi-Fit Gooseneck Ball with 4-inch offset for OEM puck systems. If you own a few different trucks that have a puck system in them, or you're just looking for an offset so that you can get a little bit more turning clearance with your short bed truck, then the CURT Multi-Fit option is going to be the right fit for you. Now this is going to come with a 4-inch offset, so you can see from the center of our ball to our actual mounting point, it's going to give us 4 inches back, so that way we can get a little bit more turning clearance here. And now the multi-fit portion of this is this brace that we see right here leading out to our safety chain loops, which are at the front. Now the way that you can adjust this is right down here. We've got a slotted section on both sides here, and we're going to run bolts through there, and we can tighten that down as we find out exactly which length we need to be for our specific puck system. So if you look at different trucks for brand, so this is a Ford, it's going to have a 13 by 30 measurement here between our pucks. If you go over to a GMC or Chevy, or you're looking at Ram or Nissan, that obviously is going to be a little bit different. So you want an option that's going to be able to go between each truck, so that way you're not having to spend a bunch of money buying separate gooseneck balls for each one of your puck systems. Taking a closer look at our slotted portion here on our bracket, this is going to fit the majority of different puck systems, but there is a second bracket that has a longer length here, and that is for your Ram pickup trucks with the puck system. So you're going to have that. We don't have it sitting in here. We have it sitting off to the side, but it's going to be essentially the exact same bracket, just more length, so that way you can match up to that further distance from our gooseneck hitch out to those pucks at the closer to the tailgate side. Now moving forward, if we look closer at the front side here, this is going to be our safety chain loop. I have a little clevis here just to kind of use as an example. So we just pop right on and be all good to tow once we have that on both sides. Installation of this is super simple. So starting out, I'll just start over here since we're already over here. We'll pop out our pin and clip. We can turn this to the side, and you can see that kind of latches or unlatches our puck foot on here. We'll do the same over on the other side. Now both of these are unlatched, and now we can finally come back to our gooseneck coupler. We'll pop out our pin and clip. We can turn that and then pull it out. Now this is a little bit heavier than most of the gooseneck balls just because you've got this added extension here, and this has to be able to withstand the 30,000 pound capacity here. So this is a giant hunk of steel here that's really going to be a little bit heavier for most people. And then this bracketing is a little bit heavier too, so not as lightweight as some options on the market. And this one isn't going to have a nice carrying case for it. So if this is something that you're going to take out on the regular, you're probably going to want some kind of box or something to throw it in, or maybe a space in your garage that you can just set it down or hang it on the wall and have it live there when you're not in use. Now with this, you will want to make sure that you are properly greasing up the gooseneck hitch ball as well as the shank routinely. Really just kind of depends on how much towing you do, whether this is sitting out exposed to the elements. Our neighbor has a tonneau cover, so if he's not towing, he could easily just throw down the cover, and then that's going to help protect it from the elements, and he doesn't have to grease it quite as much unless he's really towing regularly. Now, getting back to capacities, this is going to have a 30,000 pound gross towing weight capacity, which is that pulling force from the trailer, and it's going to have a 7,500 pound vertical load limit, which is the downward force, the pin weight of your trailer pressing against the ball itself. So with that being said, you definitely want to make sure that you're double checking what the capacities of the truck are as well, because the ball is probably going to be a lot heavier duty than what your truck can actually handle. So you will want to make sure that you're checking out your owner's manual and figuring out exactly what's safe to tow and staying within those guidelines. Now, one other thing with this, because it is giving us that offset, it is raised up a little bit higher than your standard ball, so that might throw off some of your measurements with your coupler, or if you are towing a fifth wheel with a fifth wheel to a fifth wheel to gooseneck pin box, then that could also throw off the height on that. You might have to adjust the pin box up a little bit more to kind of take up that, so that way your trailer is riding level behind you. Now, if ride quality is an important factor for you, then CURT also has a rocker ball version of this, which is going to essentially be the same bracketing that we have here, but the gooseneck ball portion of this is going to have their built-in shock drop technology. and that is the rocker ball hitch, and that is going to give you some shock absorption and going to help eliminate some of that chucking, so that way when you're going to take off and you're trying to build up that inertia, you're not going to feel the trailer kind of pushing back and forth on you as much as it normally would. So that way you have a more comfortable ride quality when you're towing or coming to a stop. Now the whole reason behind this is it's giving you that 4-inch offset. So that 4-inch offset might not still be enough for you to fully make a 90-degree turn, so this is the point where you probably want to go and measure your trailer and figure that out. What you're going to be doing is measuring from your connection point, which typically this is with your fifth wheel trailers. Gooseneck trailers have a really tapered nose on them typically, so it's not usually a problem. But if this is a case where it is going to be a problem for you, what you're going to look for is the furthest corner that you can find that would be the first point to actually contact the cab of the truck while you're making those turns. Once you have that measurement from your trailer, you want to bring your tape measure over to your connection point at the truck, which would be, in our case, the gooseneck ball. We'll set our tape measure right over that, and then we can run it out the length that we had from our trailer, and then we're just going to turn that and see if it contacts our cab. If it does, then you'll know exactly what angle you can go as far as your turning clearance. If not, and it doesn't contact the cab, then you know you can make a full 90-degree turn, and you shouldn't have any issues trying to back into a tight spot. Now, if you've done all your measurement and the 4-inch just isn't going to be enough, we do have one longer option for you, and that's going to be the 5-inch offset from Gen Y, which is going to be a similar design as our CURT here. It's going to have a brace. It's going to run between the actual gooseneck ball itself and then the back pucks, so that way you still have the front two open. Now the big difference here between the CURT and our Gen Y is that it's not going to have the safety chain loops like the CURT does at the front, so you will have to purchase some safety chain loops separately, but luckily CURT's got you covered. They've got some puck safety chain loops that'll just drop right on in, and they're super simple and easy to use. Well, that's going to do it for our closer look at the CURT Multi-Fit Gooseneck Ball with 4-inch offset for OEM puck systems. My name's Kevin. If you still have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us via our Ask the Experts link, a comment on this video, or a phone call to our customer service department, and we'd be happy to help you out on your journey.